Applying to college is both a fun and stressful time. There's the excitement of imagining your future, touring campuses, choosing majors, and picturing the kind of person you want to become. But there's also the other side of it, the paperwork, the financial aid forms, and the fear of whether you can actually afford the education you've dreamed about for so long. This experience changed how I viewed college. It wasn't just a pathway to opportunity anymore, it became a financial challenge I would have to fight through. And I'm not alone. Tuition keeps rising, financial aid often falls short, and for many students, debt becomes a defining part of their college journey. In this video essay, I explore how rising college costs affect students like me, what research reveals about the growing student debt crisis, and the solutions that can make higher education more transparent, affordable, and equitable for everyone. According to High Point University's Fact Book and Tuition Trends Report, tuition has increased steadily for more than a decade, outpacing both inflation and income. As costs rise, more students are forced to rely on loans to bridge the gap. When I interviewed Sandra Norris, HPU's Director of Student Financial Planning, she explained that tuition typically increases by 3 to 5% every year. Meanwhile, government funding continues to decline. This creates large gaps between what families expect to receive and the actual aid provided. A low student aid index often gives hope for full coverage, but in reality, it rarely works that way. Research from the National Bureau of Economic Research shows that high tuition discourages enrollment, especially among low-income students. Even those who do enroll often graduate with significant debt. The Ithaka S+R report reveals that the affordability crisis disproportionately affects underrepresented and low-income students. These financial barriers widen opportunity gaps and limit long-term social mobility. This isn't just an individual struggle, it's a systemic barrier affecting entire communities. The consequences of student debt extend far beyond college. Malloy found that debt delays key milestones like buying a home or saving for retirement. Paulson revealed that high debt pushes graduates toward higher paying jobs they don't necessarily want, limiting their freedom to pursue fulfilling careers. Debt also carries emotional weight. Martin and colleagues found that financial stress disproportionately affects racial minority students, contributing to chronic anxiety, academic strain, and long-term mental health challenges. Debt hasn't just become an economic issue, it's also a public health and social justice issue. One of the most important solutions is transparency. Families deserve clear breakdowns of tuition, fees, and loans and projected debt, not confusing award letters. Norris emphasized that colleges should provide interactive tools so families can understand long-term repayment timelines. Transparent communication can prevent families from being blindsided by unexpected costs. Increasing access to scholarships and grants is another major step. Norris recommends that students begin scholarship research early, but institutions also play a role by ensuring that endowed scholarships supplement rather than replace existing aid. Expanding awareness of tools like Scholarship Universe can help students close financial gaps and reduce a reliance on loans. Real change, however, also requires policy reform. Liu and colleagues propose using data to identify borrowers at risk of default and providing targeted support. Expanding Pell Grants, strengthening income-based repayment plans, and restoring state funding to private institutions are all essential steps. If policymakers prioritize education, affordability becomes possible. As students, we deserve transparency, we deserve support, we deserve an education that opens doors, not one that traps students in debt. The student debt crisis isn't inevitable, but it will take students, families, universities, and policy workers working together to create change. Education should be a pathway, not a barrier.